In a world that's all about speed, about what's new and what's next, there's this one name that just doesn't play that game: Rolls-Royce. They don't follow trends. They kind of exist in a whole other dimension. It's all about the absolute peak of craftsmanship and a kind of prestige that just doesn't fade. So today, we're diving into the story of how a brand literally engineered perfection.
Wow, that quote just hits different, doesn't it? It really sets the stage for what we're talking about. See, Rolls-Royce doesn't just throw the word luxury around. For more than 100 years, they've basically defined it. This is a standard they've earned, for sure. It wasn't just something they claimed.
But that really makes you wonder, right? What actually makes luxury timeless? I mean, how does a brand that was built on principles from the early 1900s still manage to be the absolute benchmark today? What's the secret sauce for making something eternal in a world that's, let's be honest, pretty disposable?
Okay, so to get to the bottom of this, here's our game plan. We're going to start with what makes luxury eternal in the first place. Then, we'll dive into the founder's uncompromising promise. From there, it's all about engineering absolute silence. Then, we'll look at perfection by human hands. And finally, we'll see how they're planning for the future of eternity. Let's get into it.
Right, let's kick things off with that core idea, the philosophy. Because for Rolls-Royce, this has never been just about building a car. It's about operating on a totally different clock, where they measure time in centuries, not seconds. Decisions aren't made for the next quarter, they're made for the next generation.
And this right here gets to the very heart of it. While literally everyone else is focused on making more stuff, faster, cheaper, Rolls-Royce just refuses to rush. It's a deliberate choice. For them, the real value isn't in how fast you can build something, but in how perfect you can make it. So how did a philosophy like that even begin? Well, every great story starts with people, right? And this one starts with two guys from completely different worlds who somehow shared one single, absolutely non-negotiable vision for perfection. And man, what a contrast these two were. I mean, they were like polar opposites. First, you've got Henry Royce. The guy was a meticulous engineer, a self-taught genius who literally fought his way up from nothing and was obsessed with every tiny detail. Then on the other side, you've got Charles Rolls, an aristocrat, a bold visionary who was fascinated with speed, airplanes, basically the future. And it's that wild combination, the obsession with perfection, plus this bold ambition, that cooked up the brand's DNA.
Take the best that exists and make it better. This one little phrase from Henry Royce, this became everything. It was their guiding star. Think about it. It's not about inventing stuff out of thin air. It's about looking at the absolute best thing you can find and then just relentlessly, obsessively making it even better.
So, you've got to understand, when these two guys met back in 1904, it wasn't just another business deal. It was more like the beginning of a promise, a pact. They shook hands on creating the best car in the world, period. No compromises, and absolutely everything that came after was built on that single idea. Okay, so how did they actually deliver on that incredible promise? Well, the first big test wasn't about raw speed or power, not in the way we think of it now. Nope. It was about engineering something nobody had ever really experienced in a car before: absolute total silence. You have to picture it. Back in the early 1900s, cars were just awful. They were loud, clunky, unreliable machines. Just a total racket. And then, in 1906, the Silver Ghost shows up, and it was so unbelievably quiet, so smooth, so dependable, that it just blew everyone's minds. The world was completely shocked. It wasn't long before everyone was calling it the best car in the world. It didn't just raise the bar, it created a whole new one. And just like that, the entire idea of luxury got a complete rewrite. Before this, luxury was basically just decoration. Fancy seats, gold trim, stuff you added on. But Rolls-Royce made luxury a part of the engineering itself. It was baked right in, from the inside out. All of a sudden, luxury meant how smooth the ride was, how quiet the cabin was, how effortlessly the engine worked. This even changes how you think about the word power. For Rolls-Royce, power isn't about a screaming engine or neck-snapping acceleration. It's the exact opposite. It's this quiet, effortless, totally smooth delivery of strength. It's the kind of authority that never, ever has to shout to be heard. You just feel it. All right, so if the engineering is the car's silent soul, then its body, its physical presence, is brought to life by something that feels almost crazy in today's world: a total commitment to human craftsmanship. In an age of robots and automation, they chose the human hand.
And this is so important to get. You don't just walk in and buy a Rolls-Royce off a list of options. That's not how it works. It's a commission. It truly starts as a blank canvas. It's an idea, a conversation, and then that client's vision is brought to life by some of the best artists in the world.
I mean, the whole process is just an art form. They find the most perfect leather hides on earth, they take thin sheets of wood, and an expert literally matches the grain by eye to create a perfect mirror image. It's called book matching. And get this, that super thin, iconic line down the side of the car, that's painted by one single person with a special brush in one long, perfect stroke. A machine just can't do that. No way!
And just let this sink in for a second. Over 400 hours. That's how much human effort and skill goes into just one car. That's like 10 full 40-hour work weeks for one vehicle. If that isn't the definition of refusing to rush, I don't know what is. It's just a mind-boggling amount of time.
I love this quote because it just nails it. A Rolls-Royce is not assembled, it is composed. Think about that. You assemble something on a factory line, right? But you compose a piece of music, a work of art. It means every single piece is chosen and placed with artistic intent to create this one beautiful, harmonious thing.
So the big question is, how does a brand that's so obsessed with history and tradition even think about the future? Well, it turns out they used new tech not to change who they are, but to become an even better version of what they've always been. And this is what's so cool. Their new electric car, the Spectre, it isn't some big change of plans. It's not them giving in to trends. For Rolls-Royce, going electric was always the end game. I mean, think about it. Their original promise over 100 years ago was total silence and effortless power. And what does an electric motor deliver better than anything else? Exactly that. It's not a new direction, it's them finally arriving at their destination.
So the Spectre isn't throwing away the old playbook, it's just making it better. You still get that absolute serenity. In fact, it's even quieter. You still get the most exquisite materials you can find. The human craftsmanship is still front and center. And that timeless elegance, yep, it's all there.
And that really boils it all down, doesn't it? For them, technology is never just about gadgets and gizmos. Tech is there to serve comfort. Innovation is there to serve elegance. That's it. That's the whole philosophy.
So when you really step back and look at the whole story, you realize Rolls-Royce is way more than just a car company. It's like a testament to what we as humans can actually achieve when we decide that excellence is the only option on the table, when good enough is just not good enough.
And that's really the secret, isn't it? That's what makes it timeless. A Rolls-Royce isn't built for today, or even for tomorrow. It's conceived, it's engineered, it's composed to last. It's built for eternity. And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? In our world of constant updates and things designed to break, have we forgotten how to make things that are meant to last forever?